Hey Polish fans, it's Caroline again, and welcome to another video here at Wild Moon Lacquer. In today's video, we are doing the second part of our last tote. This is part 36 of this huge estate haul of nail polish, and tote number 5, our last tote of the haul. This one seems to be mostly mainstream brands, and offhand, I do see one that is in dire need of either thinner or it is on its last leg. In any case, we have a lot to look at. Let's go ahead and see how many we can look at in this video. I'm going to aim for at least 60 bottles. All right, the first one is a Sinful Colors in need of a very good shake. This one is called Snow Me White. So this one is a white polish. I have been keeping a number of white polishes. I don't need as many as I have at this point because in one mystery box alone, I think I got like over half a dozen white polishes. So I don't need as many as I have, but I have been keeping a few with hopes of maybe someday doing a comparison of them and seeing if there's tonal differences, formula differences, opacity, and all that stuff. And I don't think I have this one. So I think we will add this not so exciting color to the keep pile to at least see how it compares to those other whites. And I mean, whites in general are always a good staple item to have in a nail polish collection. So we'll see how it compares to those other ones. That is Sinful Colors Snow Me White going in the keep pile. Next up, we have another Sinful Colors. This one is called Call You Later, and this one is a green glitter. There's actually two different tones of green in here. You can see the different sizes of the glitter as well. This is an interesting mix. It is one that I don't think I have. Let's go ahead and see it here on the brush. Look at all those twinkles. There might even be a little bit of like a golden shimmer or something else going on in there. It's an interesting color. It's just, I guess, not really speaking to me. So I think we will go ahead and add this one to the D-stash. That is Sinful Colors Call You Later. Next up, we have a L'Oreal. This one is part of their Jet Set Quick Dry line, and this one is called Orbit. So this one is a very interesting dark but bright blue in, I think, a pearl finish. Yeah, probably a pearly, maybe slightly metallic finish. So that's actually a really pretty color. I do really like these darker but vibrant shades of blue. So this is going to go in the keep pile as well. This is actually a brand that I don't really shop from anymore. I want to say L'Oreal is one of those brands that's kind of harder to come by here in the States now. And they used to sell at the drugstore, and I don't think they do for whatever reason. Yeah, this is another one of their bottles, and this is the kind that I have that I used to be able to get. So, and I want to say way back in the day, probably like 20 years ago, I would be able to get bottles like this. But if you are here in the States like I am and you know where to get these, feel free to let me know. I would be very curious. But in any case, this is going in the keep pile. That was L'Oreal's Orbit. Next up, let's go ahead and do this one. Okay, so it is a Wet n Wild. This is that one I was talking about that is gloopy. Look at that. So this is a Wet n Wild 479B. Does it have a name? Femme Fatale, maybe? It's covered in nail polish though, which is very interesting. I've never seen that done. So it's possible that it is maybe a Franken polish. So not as labeled. It does seem to actually have mixed up a lot better than I was thinking it would. It is on the clumpy side though. And yeah, I'm actually seeing a little bit of dried polish around the exterior of the bottle as well. So I'm thinking maybe this was a Franken polish. So I think this is going to go probably just in the trash. I don't really feel like anybody would want a Franken polish in a mystery box even. So I think this is just going to go in the maybe donate pile. I'll donate that maybe to Goodwill. I don't know. What do you guys think? In any case, it's an unknown, potentially Wet n Wild or maybe a Franken polish. I just don't know. All right, next up, we have a Wet n Wild in their Fast Dry line, and this one is called Saved by the Blue. And we have another vibrant shade of blue. Actually, let's see how this compares to that L'Oreal. They actually are a little bit different. There seems to be a formula difference. There's more of a pearly finish to the L'Oreal, and maybe more of like a shimmeriness, metallic look maybe to that one from Wet n Wild. I mean, they are definitely in the same color category for sure. This one's also a pinch darker, which I'm really liking. It's another one that I don't think I have. I actually don't have too many from Wet n Wild, so this is going to go in the keep pile. I want to at least see how this compares to this shade of blue in my collection. So that one is Wet n Wild's Saved by the Blue, going in the keep pile. Next up, here is that other L'Oreal, and this one is called Safari Chic. Now, this one I know I have. I remember buying it. Where did I buy it? It might have actually been one of the ones that I got from Big Lots when they used to carry nail polish. I think they still do technically carry nail polish, but the ones around here never have very much. They usually have maybe some LA Girls, and that's about it. But they used to carry things like L'Oreal and Revlon and a whole bunch of other things. That's actually where I got a lot of my Sephora by OPI polishes, was at Big Lots. But in any case, this is one I know I have, so this is going to go in the D stash. That is L'Oreal's Safari Chic. Next up, we have a Deborah Lippmann, and this one is called Baby Love. And this is, apparently it was a gift with purchase, and sort of boring color. I would have guessed this was more like a base coat. I mean, look at that. That is completely sheer. That is like a Your Nails But Better, sort of a French mani. Really not very exciting. Yeah, I don't know. I already have a number of polishes like this that have a bit more richness and color to them, so this is going to go in the D stash. I just don't really see myself reaching for this one, so that one's Deborah Lippmann's Baby Love. Next up, we have a Sally Hansen No Chip top coat, and this one appears to be about half full. So with top coats, I always keep these. They can be thinned down if need be, and I can always use these, if not for my own manis, for my swatches. So this is going to go in the keep pile. Next up, we have maybe a new to me brand. This one seems to be Absolute New York Nail Lacquer with hardener, and this one is called Turquoise. I should also preemptively apologize for any crumbs that you're seeing over in the corner over here. This has been sitting in this room since I brought it home, and it's also my cat room, so this is where I've been feeding 5 out of the 6 cats that we have, because the 6th one is a little hog and he will eat all the cat food if we let him, so we feed the other cats in a room where we can monitor them coming and going and eating the food. And I was giving them some treats, and the treat box spilled into the tote, so you'll probably see crumbs and cat treats here at some point when we get to that portion of the tote. In any case, this one from Absolute is a very blue leaning turquoise. I would almost call this more of like a pool blue with a slight green lean to it. Yeah, on camera it's coming off as very much a summer pool blue. There is that pinch of a turquoise lean to it though, so I do want to see how this compares to the other colors in my collection in this shade range. I probably, again, with these won't keep every single color that I have put in the kept pile or that I even have in my current collection, because I know I need to do a declutter here majorly after this, because if I keep even half of these polishes, my collection will be over 5,000 bottles, which is excessive, I know. So I'm working at that, but in any case, I do want to see how this one compares, and it's a brand that I have not heard of before, so that is Absolute New York Nail Lacquer's Turquoise, going in the keep pile. Next up, it looks like we have another top coat, and I'm actually not sure what brand this is. It's got a very pretty flower cap on it. It just says Professional Top Coat, and then I'm imagining that is French. Couche de Finition? Finition? I'm actually not too sure about that. There it is. I don't know if you can see the lettering, but in any case, it is a top coat. It's a very thin top coat, so probably not a quick dry, but again, I could always use top coats for my swatches, so this is going to go in the keep pile. I'm still not sure of the brand, but yeah, it'll go in the keep pile. This will go under U for unknown. Next up, we have an OPI, and this one is called Jade is the New Black. Ooh, I think this color might be on my wish list. Okay, and you guys have to see more kitty. Hang on. Yeah, are you being a happy bug? Yeah. This is Willa. She likes to hang out in the room while I'm looking at the polish. She is being such a happy little goober making air biscuits. Oh my goodness. Yeah, such a happy little thing. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So happy. Oh goodness. So if you are new to the channel, she is actually one of 3 kittens that we have. I mean, they're not kittens anymore. They're, let's see, 2020. So yeah, about 3 years old now. That we rescued from a pregnant feral mama in 2020, right when shutdown was happening, and This is actually her second litter that she had with us because her first, after her first litter, when everything was shut down, we couldn't get any place to fix her. So she ended up escaping because she was in heat and came back pregnant with this little girl and 4 siblings. So she had 5 kittens, and we ended up keeping 3 of them because we couldn't find homes for them. And she is such a sweet little thing. She's a little bit of an odd duck, but she's a very sweet little girl. Yeah, sweet little kitty. All right, back to that polish. Yeah, look at this. So once it's shaken up, this is a stunning shade of jade green in a cream formula. And yeah, I'm pretty sure this is on my wish list, or was on my wish list. I'm actually going to put this in the do I have it pile just to see if I did end up grabbing a bottle of this at some point. But it is a stunning shade of green. This is definitely going in the keep pile if I don't already have it. But yeah, we'll check on that and go from there. That is OPI's Jade is the New Black. Next up, we have another Wet n Wild, and this one is called Black Cream. So this is actually one of the blacks that I'm pretty sure I already have. Now, I want to say that Wet n Wild also has another black. Like, they have a few options. I don't know if that's in their different lines or what the case is. Let's see in what condition this is before I make a choice. Seems to be in very good shape. But I do already have a lot of black creams, so I think I am okay just passing this one along. That one is Wet n Wild's Black Cream, going in the D-stash. Next up, we have a Nicole by OPI, and this one is called Shoot for the Maroon. And this one is an interesting, like, large shimmer particle. There is some berry tones, some coppery, light gold in there maybe. It's in a dark base, which I actually can't tell if it is a maroon or if it is a dark, no, maybe we'll go with a dusty maroon shade there on the neck. I would almost call it like a dusty plum with a maroon tone. And all of that beautiful shimmer there on the wand. Oh yeah, look at all those sparkles. Oh wow. So I think that would look gorgeous on. It's one that I don't think I have yet, so that is going in the keep pile as well. That is Nicole by OPI's Shoot for the Maroon. Next up, we have this little guy. This one is Pixel. I think that's another new to me brand. And this one is called, I think that says Bite My Lip. Bite spelled with a Y. And this one on camera, I feel like is coming off as like a bright watermelon pink. And it's more of a dusty shade of watermelon pink, not quite as red as I feel like it's coming off on camera. But it is a very interesting, very saturated color. Again, not as red as it's coming off, at least on my screen. Interesting color though. Now it is a cream formula, so not exactly the most exciting finish. And I feel like I do have, again, a lot of these colors in my collection currently, not including the ones that I've kept from this haul. So I think I'm okay just letting this one go. It is a new to me brand, but it is a smaller bottle, so I think I'm okay just letting this one go. That is Pixel's Bite My Lip. Next up, we have another OPI, and this one is called Malaga Wine. And oh my goodness, now, I wouldn't necessarily call this a wine shade. That is interesting as well. Almost where like the little, what do you call that? Where's that other OPI? How some of them have like a little barcode almost etched onto it. Not quite a barcode, that's not the right word. Like that. A little etching number on it. It's almost like instead of that, it accidentally got polished off. I don't know. I've never seen that. In any case, this is a deep plum purple in a cream formula. It does look like it might have thickened up. Oh, a lot of thickened. Ugh. Ew. That might be about half gone. I mean, look how gloopy. Ugh. We will go ahead and put this in the Can I Fix It pile, though. This does seem to be an older bottle, and if it is an older bottle, it could have potential for someone actually wanting it. I'll go ahead and see if some thinner can't help this, because, I mean, look at that color. It is really pretty. If we ignore the part that's all glumpy. So that's going to go in the Can I Fix It pile. That was OPI's Malaga Wine. Next up, we have a Revlon, and this one is called Adventurous. And this is a corally shimmer polish. Look at that glow in there. You have this pink shimmer in this corally cantaloupe shade. This is another shade that I really enjoy for summer. There you can see it on the brush and wand. Now the shimmer on this isn't as noticeable because it's almost tone on tone. It's not really a contrasting shimmer, but I do want to see how this compares to any other coral shades that I already own, and I don't think this is one that I have. So this is going to go in the keep pile. That one was Revlon's Adventurous. Next up, we have a cult nail. So we do have some indies in here. This one is Captivated. I'm laughing because this is like the 5th bottle of this. This must have been one of the previous owner's favorite bottles because, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is at least the 5th bottle of it that we found. Now, there are 2 variations. This seems to be the one that has the white matte glitters in it, and there is a variation that doesn't have those, but I have already kept 1 bottle of each variation as well as de-stashed a bottle of each variation, so this is going to go in the de-stash as well. That is Cult Nails Captivated. Next up, we have another OPI, and this one is Bogota Blackberry. Okay, this one I know I have. I got my bottle in that salon de-stash haul that I mentioned, where I got a lot of OPIs and other, I think like CBLs in that haul, and I know I got this one. So this one is going to go in the de-stash, but it is a really beautiful burgundy wine shade. Let's see if it's in good shape or if it's slightly dried out. It does appear to be a little bit on the dried out side. It's probably about 1/3 used, so it would need a little bit of thinner to help it get back to like a working Manny. It is a bit gloppy, but look at that beautiful tone. So this is going to go in the Can I Fix It pile, just to make sure that I do add some thinner before I put that in the de-stash. So that one was OPI's Bogota Blackberry, going in the Can I Fix It section. Next up, we have a Sinful Colors. This one is called Bali Mist, and this is another one that I know I have. I want to say there was a few Sinful Colors that I ended up getting on Pinterest years ago, and I actually don't know if people still buy things on Pinterest, but I know that was a thing a while ago, like a few years ago. In any case, that's where I think I got my bottle, so I don't need a second. This is another one that'll go in the de-stash. This one is one of their shimmer polishes that is in a lilac with some pink shifts in it. So that's going to go in the de-stash. That was Sinful Colors Bali Mist. Next up, we have one from Del Sol. So these are color changing or solar polishes. And this one is called Electric. And this one is currently in its indoor color, a seafoam green shimmer. All right, well, I know I have a UV flashlight somewhere, but I could not find it to check on this and see if it actually still works. But a lot of times these solar polishes do die out. They are similar to thermals in that I think a chemical reaction that creates the color shift isn't long lasting. It does have a shelf life, so it does destabilize, especially if it's exposed to direct sunlight and things like that. So there are things that shorten its lifespan, and with these, I just don't have much experience with this brand. I want to say I have maybe one other bottle that I got probably through a mystery box that was already deceased. So you only get the color that you're seeing in the bottle. With this one, without that UV flashlight or going outside, I'm not really sure if this one is still active or not, but it is a nice color. It's just not the most exciting. So I think I will go ahead and pass this one along. That was Del Sol's Electric. Next up, we have a Sally Hansen, and this one is called Tista Turquoise, and this one needs a good shake. Oh my. So it needs an even better shake than what I've given it. My arms are actually already getting tired from shaking in the last couple of videos, but this one, okay, it's got a very wonky brush. I don't know if you can see that, but it is a very pretty color. It's actually more green in person than I feel like it's coming off on camera. It's kind of in that almost Tiffany box blue, but it's a more dusty green leaning version, but it's in that color family. That is a very pretty color. So I want to at least see if I can revive this with a few more shakes, but it is a very pretty color and it's one I don't think I have. So that'll go in the keep pile. That was Sally Hansen's Tista Turquoise. Next up, we have another Revlon, and this one is called Iced Mauve. And this is an iced mauve. So maybe not the most exciting, but I actually do like these mauvey grandma shades. As you can see, there is a shimmer component that's adding that iced quality to this. And I do want to at least see how this compares to other colors that I have in this shade range. This is actually one of the first shade ranges of pinks that I actually liked, that I purchased specifically because I liked them. And it took me a lot longer to get into the other shades of pink. But as you can see, I have changed that. I like the brighter tones now as well. But this one does kind of sound familiar, and I don't know if that's just because mauve is in a lot of names that I already have of polishes, but I do want to put this in the do I have it pile just to make sure that I don't already own a bottle. But that was Revlon's Iced Mauve. Next up, we have another OPI, and this one is called Lucerne Tenley Look Marvelous. Oh my goodness, so that name doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, but this one is a metallic-y, shimmery charcoal gray. There's a lot of sparkles and twinkles. In fact, on camera, it's kind of picking up as a dusty, sagey green. So I'm curious how this one would swatch. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a gray, like a charcoaly, metallic, shiny gray. Loads of twinkles in that shimmer. You can catch flashes of like a fuchsia, purpley color and a green. So maybe that green shift is what you're catching mainly on camera, but that is a very nice color, and I don't think this is one that I already own. Again, with colors like this, I can't say how many of them I'll actually end up keeping, but this one has the potential to look really gorgeous on. So that's going to go in the keep pile until I can do those swatches and comparisons. That is OPI's Lose Certainly Look Marvelous. Next up, ooh, we have a Pure Ice. So this is a mainstream that doesn't make polish anymore, and I have been really enjoying getting some more polishes from them in other D-stashes and mystery boxes. This is a bit of a gross bottle that will need to be cleaned, but which one is this? This one is Wild Thing. So this one is kind of like a faded sour apple green, and it's a very interesting light, almost bleached color, bleached sour apple. Maybe ever so slightly more pigmented on the brush than it was in the bottle, so it's possible I need to shake it up a little bit more. This is actually a color I could see myself wanting to at least try, so that's going to go in the keep pile. That was Pure Ice Wild Thing. Next up, we have a Sally Hansen, and this is Ultimate Shield. Ultimate Shield, does that mean top coat? Wow, so this is not an easy bottle to read. Fortifying base and top coat. Okay, base and top coat. I don't know if I can get that to come through on camera. There we go. Base and top coat. Wow. I have never seen a base and top coat this color. Have you? That is bizarre. It's like wine, like legitimate wine. It's like a liquid wine color. Fascinating. Well, it's not something I own, but again, I can always use base and top coats. It is still very strange to me that this is a wine colored base coat. Let me know what you think down below. I just find that very unusual. In any case, it'll go in the keep pile at least until I can figure out and make sure that that isn't some sort of a defect in the polish. But that is a Sally Hansen base coat, base and top coat. Next up, we have one from LA Girls in their Rockstar line, and this one is called... Okay, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to have a little sticker, so this one has lost its label. But it is a pink and gold shimmer. Look at that. Lots and lots of twinkles. So this one is very pretty. I would imagine with as much shimmer as this one has, that this is probably going to be a little on the sheer side. Although I will say there on the brush, it's not looking as sheer as I was thinking it might be. This is very pretty. Yeah, I like this one. I want to at least see how this one swatches, see how it compares, see if I might like it. The twinkles on this are gorgeous. And I don't think I have that many in this line from LA Girls. I have a lot from LA Girls in their usual line, which I don't know that I see any offhand in here. Nope, here we go. Sorry, LA Colors, not LA Girls. Close, but different. So I think this will go in the keep pile. I will, of course, have to figure out which polish this is so I can add it to my nail polish app if I do keep it long term. But that one is LA Girls Unknown Pink Shimmer. Next up, we have another OPI, and this one is called Samoan Sand. And this one is a tanny sand skin tone color. I mean, it is very light and neutral. Not the most exciting color. Another wonky brush. There it is on the brush. You can see there it's escaping from the side again. Actually, I think the other one that we had that was doing that was that Sally Hansen. Interesting. But yeah, I don't know. This is just not the most exciting color. It's pretty close to my skin tone as well. And actually, that's probably its saving grace because I think this could be a nice undie to help give some opacity to other shearer polishes because it is so close to my skin tone. Yeah, I think I want to give that a try. So that is OPI's Samoan Sand going in the keep pile. Next up, we have another OPI. This one is called Nice Color, eh? I don't know if they were quite going for Canadian, but there you go. This one is another kind of icy shade, and this is like a rosy, almost brick leaning red, pinky red. It's a very pretty color. Here it is on the brush and wand. It's almost got that pearl finish to it. Yeah, that's very pretty. Kind of an unusual color, so this is going to go in the keep pile as well. It's one that I'm pretty sure I don't have. I do not remember that name. So that is OPI's Nice Color, eh? Next up, we have another OPI. This one has lost its little label at the bottom, but this one is a dusty shade of this like grapey wine color. It's again in a cream formula. It has seen better days though. I think this one might be good with a shake though. Yeah, this one seems to be pretty okay. Although here we go again. We've got this unusual rough area on the bottle, which again I have not seen before this haul, so I'm not sure about that, but in any case it is a nice shade. Let's see it on the brush. Ooh, it's slightly deeper on the brush. That is beautiful, kind of like a raisiny color, a purpley raisin. That is really pretty. You know what, I think we're keeping this one, at least until I can do swatches and comparisons, because I love this kind of a color. So that's going in the keep pile. That is an unknown OPI. If you have any guesses, feel free to share them down below. Next up, we have that LA Colors, and this one is called Electra. Now, this one does kind of sound familiar, but I'm not really sure if I own it or not. So it's a very vibrant pink, kind of similar, actually very similar to what I'm currently wearing, and it is a squishy formula. So this is going to go in the Do I Have It pile. I will check and see if I already own a bottle in my current collection. If I don't already own a bottle, this might go into the keep pile, at least until I can do those comparisons and see how it compares to the other shades of pink that I already have in my collection. If I do already own a bottle, it'll go in the D stash. So that was LA Colors Electra. Next up, we have a yellow from Butter London. This one is Cheeky Chops, and this one is a like daffodil yellow. It's not a super bright in your face yellow, which is going to be its saving grace. I think I will at least give this one a try. It's one I know I don't have. Yellow is another one of those colors that I really don't own that many of intentionally. All of the ones that I've gotten, at least most of them, I will say that. I did buy a couple of shimmer polishes within the last year or so that were yellow, but most of the colors that I have that are yellow I got through mystery boxes, and they're just not ones that I've warmed up to yet, but I am trying. I am gathering a few of these softer tones to see how I might like them. So I want to hold on to this and at least see how it compares to the other shades I've already kept. So that is Butter London's Cheeky Chops. Next up, we have a Sally Hansen in their Hard as Nails line, and this one is called Sturdy Sapphire. Ooh. So this one has a smoky look to it. It's hard to tell if it's a blue base or a gray base because there is that smoke look to the sides of the bottle, but then you have that beautiful blue flash. This is interesting. Yeah, look at that. I want to say the base is potentially a gray. You can see that there on the wand portion, and then on the brush you can see that vibrant blue shimmer. Now the name of this one does kind of sound familiar as well, so I'm not sure if I maybe already own a bottle of this. So this is another that's going to go in the Do I Have It pile. Same rules apply as with the other ones. If I do own a bottle, it'll go in the D stash. If I don't, it'll go in the collection until I can do those swatches and comparisons. So that is Sally Hansen's Sturdy Sapphire. Next up, we have another OPI, and this one is called Glacier Bay Blues. Very pretty. Look at this one. So this is almost like a very dark oil slick. You've got this navy tone. You've got a purple flash that is following the light coming from this direction, although I think on camera you're seeing that quite nicely. There's also like a dark teal to this, which is very interesting. Can't quite tell if it's like a multi-chrome or if the oil slick is just from the shifting shimmer or what the case is. Yeah, there's definitely a teal. You can see that kind of on the neck. There it is on the brush and wand. On that, I think you're mostly seeing that purpley navy color. This is very pretty. So it's another one that I don't think I have. So this is going to at least get swatched and see how it compares to other colors I already own. Yeah, that is just a very pretty inky color. So that one was OPI's Glacier Bay Blues. In fact, there's an electric green. Oh yeah, you see that right there? Oh, that is beautiful. Go into the keep pile. Next up, we have another Sally Hansen, this time in their Diamond Strength line. And this one is called Something New. And this is another coral, this time in, I think, a cream formula. So let's see how it compares to that Revlon. It is a deeper tone, maybe a couple shades darker, and a cream formula as opposed to the shimmer that was in the Revlon. Ooh, and it's a jelly. Ooh, very nice. So yeah, this is going to go in the keep pile as well. This is another where the name does not sound familiar, so I don't think I own this one anyways. So this is going to go in the keep pile at least, again, until I can do those comparisons and swatches. So that's Sally Hansen's Something New. Next up, we have another L'Oreal. This one is called New Money, and this is another interesting shade of green. I would call this like, again, a sour apple green, although if you compare it to the one from Pure Ice, they are different tones. There's more yellow in the one from L'Oreal. So maybe for this one, it's almost like a mix between a sour apple and a tennis ball green. Very interesting color though. Again, for whatever reason, I have been drawn to this sort of a color lately. I've yet to get it on my nails, but I have been keeping a few bottles in this shade range. So this is another one that I know I don't have, so we're going to put that in the keep pile. That one is L'Oreal's New Money. Next up, what is this? Beach Smells. Smell this. It is a scented clear top coat. So is Smell This like their catchphrase, or is Smell This the brand? Is Beach Smells the brand? Nope, it's Smell This. So Smell This is the brand, and it is Beach Smells as the scent for this. Fascinating. Doesn't look used very much. What does it smell like? No, don't worry. I'm not going to smell directly from the bottle. I'm going to see if I can't waft it. I'm smelling something. It's a little perfuming. Not overpowering, so has potential. But again, I don't necessarily have to use all of the top coats that I keep for my own manis. In case this is not a smell that I enjoy, I could always use it as a top coat on my swatches. So that's going to go in the keep pile as well. Again, a new to me brand. Smell This. Beach Smells their scented clear top coat. Next up, we have another Sinful Colors. This one is called Out of This World. And this is a very icy silver. There's a load of shimmer. I think you can see some of the colors on camera. There are light shades of like an aqua green and a very light purple, plus all of that silver. So this one is very icy, very wintry. It's one that I don't think I have. I don't recognize the name. Yeah, I think I want to put this in the keep pile to at least swatch and see how it compares to any of the other silvers or shimmer polishes that I have. I could easily see this being one that I would want to pull out for a winter polish, and it possibly could make a nice topper. I mean, we'll have to see how sheer it ends up being, but that's going to go in the keep pile for the time being. That is Sinful Colors Out of This World. Next up, we're getting into that crumb section. I think you can see some of the treats peeking out. This next one is an Orly, and this is a Color Amped Step 1 Flexible Color. Oh, wait a second. This isn't a gel, is it? It's called Valley Girl, but this bottle style is making me think that it might be a gel. Well, maybe not. Actually, I really can't tell, but it is a stunning color. Look at that. Wow. I mean, that is really, really pretty. I know I have bottles in this style from Orly, but it doesn't say Color Amped and it doesn't say Step 1 Flexible Color. It's the black base to this that's really throwing me, making me contemplate if this is potentially a gel, but it doesn't say it's a gel. So I don't know. In any case, it is a stunning color and it's one I know I don't have, so I might have to do a little bit of research just to make sure that I don't need a lamp for this, but it is a stunning color and one I know I don't have, so that's going to go in the keep pile. That was Orly's Valley Girl. Next up, we have a Sally Hansen. This is their Diamond Shine Base and Top Coat. I think I actually have 2 bottles of this that I got in a Goodwill bag, and I've been using them on my swatches, and it's been a very handy top coat to have. I have yet to ever try it as a base coat, so I can't really speak to its longevity or anything, but again, it's another top coat. I can always use more top coats, so this is going to go in the keep pile. think that is our third top coat from Sally Hansen. Next up we have another, Nicole by OPI with a green. This one is called Mermaid for Each Other. So this is gorgeous. This has sort of this murkiness to it. It's got a gorgeous shade of this mossy green. Now the name does sound familiar, but the polish doesn't look familiar. But in any case, I think we are going to put this in the Do I Have It pile just to make sure that I don't already own a bottle of Mermaid for this by Nicole by OPI. Next up we have another Nicole by OPI. This one is Blue Lace. This one is a beautiful mid-tone blue, kind of a summery shade with a green shimmer. So this is kind of a mermaidy color as well. Did seem to spill at some point, so it's a little bit crusty around the neck of the bottle. Yeah, a little bit crusty, but that is a really pretty shade. So this is going to go in the Do I Have It pile again. This is a kind of reverse of that other Nicole by OPI where the name doesn't exactly sound familiar, but the polish looks familiar. So it's possible I have a color like this from another brand, but I'll go ahead and see if I own this bottle just to make sure. So that is Nicole by OPI's Blue Lace going in the Do I Have It pile. Next up we have another Nicole by OPI. This one is called Am I Making Myself Claire? And this is a nice color. I mean, it is a light shade, but I think on camera it's washing out the mauvey purple tone that it has. It is very gray leaning and soft. It is kind of a wintry pinky purple. I feel like it's a pinch deeper on the brush and wand, but this is a very nice, like cozy color. This is one that does not sound familiar, so I don't think I own this one. This is going to go in the keep pile. I want to at least see how this compares to other colors I might already own. This is a color that I could easily see myself reaching for my winter rack. So that is Nicole by OPI. Am I Making Myself Claire? Going in the keep pile. Next up, we have a bottle in need of shaking from China Glaze. This one is called 4-Leaf Clover. And there it is after some shaking. This is a nice shade of green. On camera, it's pulling up a lot bluer than it is in person. This is more along the lines of a soft, like jungle-y green. Maybe almost like a grassy jungle green. There's a pinch of a blue quality, but it's definitely not a teal. I think it is a cream as well. I don't see any additional shimmers or glitters or anything like that. It is a very nice color. I don't think I own this one, so this will go in the keep pile at least until I can do those swatches and comparisons. That is China Glaze's 4-Leaf Clover. Next up, we have another OPI. This one is called My Point Exactly, and this appears to be like a sheer gray. Yeah, like a sheer gray. Oh yeah, definitely a sheer polish. Look at that. So this is very interesting. I'm curious what this would look like on the nail. I have a lot of grays, but most of them are cream formulas or shimmers. So I want to at least see how I might like this on. It's another one that I know I don't have. So that one is OPI's My Point Exactly. Next up, we have a Sinful Colors, Sinful Shine. And this one is called Royal Flush. Now this one kind of sounds familiar. I'll have to maybe put this in the Do I Have It pile. This is another in a berry shade in a cream formula. Yeah, that is a nice color. It's not the most exciting since it is a cream color, but this is a nice tone. I'm having a hard time deciding what color of berry I would call this, but it is a nice tone. So I think this is going to go in the Do I Have It pile. So again, same rules apply. If I do already own a bottle, it'll go in the D stash. If I don't, it'll go in the keep pile, at least until I can compare it to the other colors I already own. So that one was Sinful Colors, Sinful Shines, Royal Flush. Next up, we have a Wet n Wild matte top coat, and I don't remember if I own a matte top coat from them, but with matte top coats, this is another instance where there's a lot of variances between the formulas of each matte top coat. There's a variety of finishes that they turn into, all of which could be called matte, but some are more matte, some are less matte, some are more plasticky, some are more velvety, so it really depends on the formula. So I've been actually meaning to collect them and see about doing a comparison video about how each one looks over the same polish and see how many differences we have. So since this is one that I don't think I have and it's a top coat, which I can always use anyways, this is going to go into the keep pile. Next up, we have another China Glaze. This one is called Nice Caboose. So this one I think might have been from like their travel collection. It's a beautiful plummy purple with a tone-on-tone shimmer. So this is one that I don't know if I have. Again, the name kind of sounds familiar, but I don't know if that's just because I was familiar with the collection that it may have come from. So this is another that's going to go in the do I have it pile, just to make sure that I don't already own a bottle. And again, same rules apply. If I don't already own a bottle, it'll go in the keep pile. So that is China Glaze's Nice Caboose. Lots going in the do I have it pile. Next up we have a Revlon, and this one is Cherry Crush. And this one is a Pearl Burgundy. Look at that. The chances are I probably don't already own a bottle, so this is going to go in the keep pile. Again, I will of course have to do comparisons of all of these colors, but this is absolutely gorgeous, and I love the pearl finish. So that one was Revlon's Cherry Crush. Next up, we have another Nicole by OPI. This one is called Make You Smile. What does this one say? It says New Perfect Stroke Brush. Interesting. So this one seems to be a silver topper with a variety of sizes of silver metallic glitters. So the name definitely doesn't sound familiar, and silver glitter toppers are actually one of those colors that I had been looking for a while back because surprisingly I didn't really own any. Now at this point I think I do have at least a handful to compare, but I like the fact that this has these smaller ones that you can see there on the wand twinkling away nicely, and then the larger ones. So I want to at least hold on to this until I can compare it to the other silver toppers that I might have and see if I like one or there's a couple varieties that I might like. So that's going to go in the keep pile for the time being. That is Nicole by OPI's Make You Smile. Next up, oh, we have another from Pure Ice. This one is called Watch Me Go, and this one is one of their micro glitters. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Look at the twinkles. So we have a green glitter. There's some aqua glitter in here as well. I feel like on camera it's pulling a lot of that blue and making this look more of a teal, but it has more of a green lean, almost like an emerald teal. So not quite as teal as it's coming off on camera, but not quite as emerald as a straight up emerald green might be. Beautiful combination. So this one, I'm not sure if I own it, but I want to put this in the do I have it pile just to check and make sure that I don't already own a bottle. That is Pure Ice's Watch Me Go. Next up, we have an OPI in their Shatter formula. This one is Black Shatter. So I know we ran across a shatter. Did I end up keeping it? I don't remember if it was black or not, or if it was a different color. I actually don't see one offhand, but we do have quite the tote of D-stash polishes going on right now. I can't be sure if I kept a bottle of this or not, if I did run across another black one. This is one of those colors or types of polishes, I should say, that was very in, and I want to say it kind of comes and goes as trends come and go. It is a bit clumpy in there, you guys, so I'm not sure if it still does the shatter or not. Oh yeah, it kind of feels like a glob in there. Fascinating. Let's see if that worked some of the formula loose. Oh yeah, I think it's going to be a bit glooby. Ew. See that lump? Oh my goodness. So yeah, this one's probably going to need a little bit of thinner and testing to see if it actually does what it's supposed to do. If it doesn't, it could be just a black polish, but I don't know with these sort of formulas if they stop working, if they actually go on as smoothly as a normal cream would. So that potentially is a dud, but at the same time, I'm curious to see if it does shatter still. So I think I do want to put this in the keep pile because I don't think I own a bottle already. So that one is OPI's Black Shatter. I know I have one though, I just can't remember what color it is. Next up, we have an Essie. This one is called Butler Please. Now, this name definitely sounds familiar. I think this is one of those classic Essies that people talk about on YouTube all the time. So I've probably heard about this polish, but I can't be sure if I own a bottle. This is one of those shades of this blurple that is gorgeous. So on camera it's pulling much bluer than it is in person. Don't get me wrong, it is a blurple, there is a blue tone to it, but in person it has that deeper periwinkle lean, which I absolutely adore. So this is going to go in the do I have it pile just to make sure that I didn't already somewhere along the way grab myself a bottle or get one through a D-stash. But I mean, look at that color. It is beautiful. Yeah, I really wish that purpley tone was coming across better on camera, but this will go in the to be checked pile. I will see if I own a bottle, and same rules apply as with all of the other ones. So that one was Essie's Butler Please. Next up, we have another Essie. This one is called Mint Candy Apple. Okay, if this is Mint Candy Apple, I would say this faded a lot. And I'm pretty sure I own mint candy apple. Yeah, there we go. See on the neck, that's closer. And actually on camera, you guys are probably like, what do you mean faded? It is almost white in person. My camera is amping up the color a lot on my screen. So that's very curious. It is amping up the color by at least 3 times. So in person, it feels like this has faded a lot. There on the neck is probably a lot closer to what it is supposed to be. But again, my camera is picking up the blue and just running with it. I'm pretty sure this is faded, but I'm actually kind of liking the soft color that this is. I might have to at least swatch this and see how I might like it. And then of course, compare it to my bottle of mint candy apple, because I'm pretty sure I own a bottle, and see what it's supposed to look like, see how I might like it as is, because faded or not, it is an interesting color. I might like it. So we'll put that in the maybe pile. That is Essie's faded, probably mint candy apple. Next up, we have a Sinful Colors, and this one is called Queen of Beauty. And this one is a bit globby, but it is still moving around, so maybe a pinch of thinner might help this one. This is another instance of a beautiful silver glitter, and just to compare it to our Nicole by OPI, which was Make You Smile, they are obviously different in their kinds of silver glitter. I want to say even if you take the smaller glitters that are in the Nicole by OPI, they're not the same that are in the Sinful Colors. So this could be another that I hold on to do some comparisons of my silver top coats or toppers. Let's see how this looks on. Oh yeah, this is so twinkly. Look at that. So sparkly. So yeah, I think this is going to go in the keep pile to at least see how it compares again to all of the other silver toppers that I now have. See if there are a few that I might like more, or if there's some variety between them. So this is going to go in the keep pile. That one was Sinful Colors Queen of Beauty. Next up, ooh, we have another Sephora by OPI. This one is called On Stage, and ooh, this one is kind of in that range of a chewed up grape bubblegum, this time in more of like a mauve version. So this is stunning. This is one of my favorite shades. It's kind of in that neutral but with pizzazz color range, and I really like it. So this is one that does not sound familiar. I don't think I already own this bottle. Of course, being that it is a favorite tone of mine, I will have to do a lot of comparisons, but for the time being, this is going to go in the keep pile. That one was Sephora by OPI's On Stage. Next up, we have another OPI, and this one is called Bubble Bath. Okay, this is another one I know I already have a bottle of. In fact, I might have 2 for whatever reason. Again, I probably got these through that big haul of salon nail polish that I got, or other destashes, so I don't need a 3rd for sure. This is one of those very light your nails but better sort of a polish you would use if you wanted to go almost bare, sort of a French mani look. I do not need 3 bottles of it, so this is going to go in the destash. That's OPI's Bubble Bath. Next up, we have another Pure Ice. This one is called Black Rage. So I would imagine this is their black polish, and I don't think I have this one. Yeah, I think it's just a black cream. So, I mean, again, plain black polish is not maybe the most exciting, and I think every single brand comes out with their own version. In some cases, there might be a formula difference where some are sheerer than others, some are more opaque. You get the 2 to 3 coaters, and then you get the 1 coaters, but I don't think I have this one. And again, Pure Ice is one of those brands that does not make polish anymore, and I have been collecting the ones that I do find if there are ones that I like. And while again black is maybe not the most exciting, I do want to see how their formula is and see if it stands out against the other ones that I already own. So that's going to go in the keep pile. That one was Pure Ice's Black Rage. Next up, we have another Sally Hansen and another, ooh, wait a second. I was going to say top coat, but I think this is a diamond strength hardener. So maybe, yeah, so it's a hardener that you apply on bare nails. So almost like a base coat. So this is another kind of thing that I do use. I don't use hardeners all the time, but sometimes when you get a nail that is being troublesome, maybe starting to split, having something like this, like you can see anything on the brush, but having something like this to sort of help your nail have a rigidity so that it doesn't split even more, I do use every once in a while. So I think this is going to go in the keep pile as well. So that was Sally Hansen's Diamond Strength Hardener. Getting a lot of Sally Hansen in this one. Next up, we have another Sally Hansen, this time in their Diamond Strength line, and this one is called Princess Cut. And this one is gorgeous. Look at that. Wow. Okay, so I don't know that very much color is going to come from the base because as you can see, it's not even really a jelly. It's very lightly tinted, but the flakies in this are stunning. They are this translucent silver. So I think this is going to have a very sheer, beautiful, icy look on the nail. This is going in the keep pile. This is beautiful. So that is Sally Hansen's Princess Cut. Next up, we have a nail aid. This is a 1 minute gel coat. And this is, I think, another polish brand that I forget the story if they either don't make polish anymore or if they had to stop for a while. I don't know if they ever came back. I think they had like an accident at the factory or something, if I'm remembering that correctly for this brand, but it was much beloved. In one of the other videos where I hauled a bottle from this, everyone was saying that it was a great product. Now, this one does seem to be very used. It's, I would say, on the last half of the bottle. Again, with this type of an item, I can definitely use it. So this is going to go in the keep pile. That one is Nail Aid's 1 minute gel coat. Next up, we have a mermaidy shade from Revlon. Oh, it's one of their scented polishes. This one is Ocean Breeze. Okay, this is another one. I know I have this bottle. I remember the name. I want to say I got it at Big Lots, and it is a stunning mermaidy shade. You've got this teal to aqua. It is really pretty. Now, I can't say much about the scent because I don't think I've worn mine. I know I've had it for a long time, just haven't gotten it on my nails, but I don't need a second bottle. So this is going to go in the D-stash. That one is Revlon's Ocean Breeze. And here's a couple of those cat treats. Next up, we have an OPI, and this one is called I Can Only Wear OPI. And I think this color is like a light gray. This one came from TJ Maxx, and yeah, this is a light, verging on white, light gray. Now, again, not the most exciting color, but I think a color like this could look really nice on. I'm going to have to see how it compares to other shades of grays and off-whites that I have in my collection, but it is one that I don't think I own, so that's going to go in the keep pile. That one is OPI's I Can Only Wear OPI. Next up, we have another OPI, and this one is called Do You Take Layaway? And wow, this one is really pretty. Now, it's not, again, the most exciting color, but on camera, it's washing this one out, the opposite of what it was doing for that Essie. So this one has a bit more warmth to it than I feel like is coming off on camera. It's got this sort of a cashmere latte look going with it. It is very pretty. So it's got kind of a deep beigey coloration with maybe a pinch of dusty quality to it. There you can see it on the brush. It does need a bit more of a shake up. That's why you can see some swirls there on the brush, but this is another one where I think it's going to go in the keep pile. Let's compare it to Samoan Sand, and there you can see how they compare. There is a tonal difference. There's more of a almost orange by comparison. We'll go with peach to Samoan Sand, and there's more of that beigey gray tone to Do You Take Layaway. Both of those might not be the most exciting colors, but I feel like on the nail they might look really nice, and they could make good undies for shearer polishes, so that's going to go in the keep pile as well. That is OPI's Do You Take Layaway. All right, I think 2 more will get us to 65 bottles. Wow. We were flying through some of these because I think some of them immediately I knew where they would go, keep pile or not keep pile, since we did get a lot of top coats in this video. So 2 more. Let's see. Let's do this one here. We've got a China Glaze, and this one is what I thought it would be. It is Flip Flop Fantasy. So this one I do already own a bottle of, but I'm curious how this version would compare to mine. I want to say that I think Flip Flop Fantasy ended up having 2 versions, and one might have been oranger or brighter. I'm not actually sure. Now, again, on the camera, mine is sort of fading this out to a bleached neon. In person, it has more vibrancy to that, more of a neon flare. So this is going to go in the to be checked pile just to compare it to the one that I already own. That was China Glaze's Flip Flop Fantasy. All right, one more. Ooh, who do we go for? Let's do this one here. I'm seeing glitter. This is a multi-glitter from Station Nail Lacquer, and this one is called I Love Miss Self. So this one is interesting. We have a load of glitter. There is holographic. I'm seeing green metallic and red micro glitters. Very interesting. Let's see this on the brush. Oh yeah, a load of these red micro glitters. There we can see all of the twinkles and sparkles. You can see some of that hollow is sparkling in green, but I think there's straight up green glitters in there as well. Yeah, there on that portion you can see some of the green glitters. So this is very interesting. I'm trying to decide if this is one that I could see myself wearing. It is mostly the red and silver, so not too much of the green. I think I want to at least see how this one would swatch. It's not really speaking to me, but I love the hollow glitter, and I do love myself the red micro glitter, so we'll see how I like it. That one is Station's I Love Miss Self, and that is 65 bottles for part 36. Wow, 36. Whew. We still have quite a lot to go through with this one. I see a lot of great brands still, more Sally Hansen's. I see a Pacifica there, some Essie, some more OPI, some Revlons. I think there's even Milani, a couple of Milanis that I see here. So yeah, lots and lots to go through. If you're new, make sure to hit the little subscribe button down below. That way you don't miss out on any of my new videos. And if you have been watching all of the series, a huge thank you to each and every one of you for watching the videos, for commenting, for sharing any of the information that you might know about the brands, if they've changed names, if they've stopped making polish. All of that is very helpful, not just for myself, but for anybody that views the videos. So a huge thank you to all of you for participating and watching the videos and commenting with all of your helpful information. So as always, hopefully you had a good time looking at beautiful polish and some more older mainstreams this time, mainly, except for that one cult nails that we saw. So make sure to check back for part 37, and I will see you in that next one.